My middle name's Marshall, so
There you
I
go.
can't see that.
We are going to do 10.5 today. We have equations and or inequalities that have an absolute value. So let's go back before we even start this first one. Basic one like this. What number is 4 units away from 0? Absolute value, remember, it tells you how many units. So it could be 4. Is there a number that's 4 units from 0? -4. So on most of these, we are going to get 2 answers. It goes back to that word or from yesterday. So how we're going to work that then, just like this one, we said it could be 4 or it could be -4. So we're going to set up 2 different problems. We're going to set it up exactly like it appears, or we're going to set it up as -4. Now we have 2 separate problems. We can solve each one. We know how to do this. Add 2, so y would equal 6. Or if we add 2, y would equal -2. So we will be getting 2 answers on each of these. Okay. Let's think real quick before we do a couple other examples. What if it had said this at the start? What number is -4 units from 0?
4.
Good question. Units are always positive. So even if it's 4 or -4, we count 1, 2, 3, 4. We didn't count -4. Same way here. So is it possible to be -4 units from something? No, it's kind of like, are you -4 miles from home? No, you're 4 miles. It didn't matter which direction you. So if you see one where they set it up as a negative, your answer is no solution. They won't give you many of those if they do. Okay? But that way you are ready for it. Let's do one more of those, and then we'll look at inequalities as well. Today, all of these are going to be a one-step problem. Tuesday or Monday, we'll look at adding in the second step. Okay, so numbers that are 8 units, 8 or -8. So we set up 2 separate problems. X minus 4 equals -8, or X minus 4 equals 8. So each one of these, you're going to set up 2 problems. You're going to work 2 separate problems. Add 4, so X equals 12, or add 4, X equals -4. So now we'll add in one new part to that if we have an inequality. All right, so we know the basic one, we can get rid of the inequality or the absolute value when we bring it down exactly like it appears. But then what else could it be besides 3? It could be -3. Here's the one difference between equation and inequality. Going back to when we were at this point, if we divided by -3, what happened here? You have to flip that. So same thing, we changed the sign to a negative. This has to then flip. That's the one difference between these and an equation. You have to do one extra part. So for the one that's negative, you must flip the inequality sign. So now we get rid of adding 1, subtract 1. So X is either less than or equal to 2, or X is greater than or equal to -4. And these are going to ask you to graph. Partly we're going to graph to check, and we'll show you a couple of these why. 2, -4, you have a dot, you have a dot. So I was wrong, it's not or, it's an and. So it's the part in between. Okay, so since it's and, it's in between, and we could then write it as, we could combine that X in the middle -4, 2, it's going around each part. I did that wrong. So let's do another one like it. So what could we get? So instead of, we bring this one down exactly as it appears, t minus 3 greater than 2. T minus 3 or 2 is -2. We made it -2. You have to flip your sign. Add 3. T is greater than 5. Add 3. T is less than 1. Correct. So if we graph 1, 5. So when they're going, like that first one, when they're going the same way in between, that's when it's going to be and you can put together. But if they're going opposite directions, that gives us or, but you don't know or until you. So. Okay, let's do one last one, just to make sure it's there. All right, y plus, actual value of y plus 6 is less than or equal to 8. Set up two of them again. The first one is exactly as it appears. Second one, change it to negative. We change it to a negative. What do we have to do to our sign? Flip it to the opposite, so that becomes greater. Subtract 6. 8 minus 6 is 2. So y is less than or equal to 2. Add 6. This means subtract 6. Y is greater than or equal to -14. So if we graph it with 2, we have -14 dot dot. So it is the portion in between. All right. So on page 480, 485. We've got 1 to 5 odd, and then 31 odd, 484, 485.